Hey kings and queens, welcome to another episode of Elevate with E. It's E here, you want to use, CEO of Great Deal, dedicated to rewriting the narrative. And this is a podcast aimed at helping you elevate over the limits life throws at you. And today is no different. Today's topic is going to be incredible. It is Palworld versus Pokemon multi-million mindsets. Again, Palworld versus Pokemon multi-million mindsets. So this is something that's been on my heart for a minute, and I've been thinking about it for so long, and now we can finally discuss it. Originally, I was going to call this the $1 Million Mindsets, but had to give you the best of the best kings and queens. That's the commitment this year, going all in, literally. And it was more accurate and more moving than just multi-million mentality. Too many, it was just too much. It was just too much. So let me just break it down for you. So what is Palworld? Palworld is a new indie creature-catching game taking the world literally by storm. It's more than just Pokemon with guns. It takes the best of several genres and blends it into one fantastic experience, one that is unique in its own right. So when I think about Palworld, it's a new game, something that truthfully, in my opinion, I have never seen done like this. And we all know what Pokemon is. If you don't know, you should literally check out the Pokemon mod, where we literally went through everything regarding Pokemon, their success, all of that. So you can check it out. But if you're new, you can check out that video. And if you already know what Pokemon is, this is just a recap. It's the #1 media franchise on the planet. Literally, in history, it's worth $105 billion. Yes, $1 billion. It follows Ash Ketchum on his dream to catch 'em all. Literally. They even had a Pokemon rap. Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. See, it's a fun adventure. It's a fun adventure-filled experience for kids and parents of all ages. And that's one of the things I love about Pokemon. It's literally for all ages. So what are multi-million mindsets? These are the systems that these intellectual properties use to win and thrive. It's not just about working hard. It's not just about grinding. It's about working together to the point that you get your systems working for you, and you go from kind of making it to surviving, beyond surviving, and then thriving. That's the end goal. So stay until the end, and I'll explain how you can apply all these multi-million mindsets from Palworld as well as Pokemon. And welcome back, kings and queens. Our theme for 2024 is breakthrough. Yes, breakthrough. 2023 was the year of momentum. And what do you do with all of that momentum? What do you do with it? You break through. You push forward despite the limits, despite the challenges, despite every setback, whether physical, mental, financial, whatever it is. It's all about pushing forward in the midst of those challenges to reach your destination. This is how you elevate to the next level. And who better to learn about breakthroughs from than Palworld? See, this is going to be very inspiring, very encouraging for everyone that's going through a challenge, going through a struggle. This is for you. This is literally for you. See, I know Palworld has been talked about a lot recently. So what do you think is better? Pokemon at Palworld. What do you think is better? Is it Pokemon? Is it Palworld? Let us know in the comments below. So when I was looking back at the results, let me just go verbatim. Looking back on the results, it is truly a miracle that Palworld has now been completed and released like this. I can only say that I was lucky. Takuro Mizobe, CEO of Pocket Pair. So that's the guy that's the CEO of Pocket Pair. That's the company that's developed Palworld. And it wasn't luck. This is what happens when you're committed to success. The fact he says literally a miracle lets you know that he was going through some challenges, some struggles, some setbacks. Maybe that's what you're facing in life. Maybe you're facing a setback. Maybe you're facing a struggle. Maybe things haven't gone the way that you want to. I know that that's happened to me in my life. One thing I've learned about it is that when you keep going, yeah, that's where greatness lies. On the other side of I don't feel like doing it. On the other side of I'm tired and exhausted. I'm telling you right now, kings and queens, we're not even like 10 minutes into this, just giving you pure truth. You have to go all in, all right? When I go through the story, you're going to see it. This is the power of resilience. This is the power of perseverance. This is the power of not letting your limits limit you. Define your limits to seize your greatness, not mine, your greatness. It's why the hat says, I got no limits. I got no limits. Speak that over your life. All right, now let's get back to it. See, what I love about Pocket Pair is that it's independent. It's an indie video game. Again, it's independent. It's not just, some major company put it, and I'll put it up again so you can see them side by side. So again, Pocket Pair is the people that created the Palworld. It's on the right, and we all know Nintendo company Game Freak. They're the one that made Pokemon on the left. So what I love about this story is the fact that even in the midst of all these creature catching games, Palworld comes out not like 70 years ago, just last month. If you're watching this right now, it's about February 2024. So the game has not been out for very long, and it's literally, in my opinion, taking the world by storm. So this is something I definitely wanted to share with you because you can gain so many gems, so many. Just stick to the end, and I'll go through all of that with you. All right. So again, what I love about Palworld is that it's independent. It's an indie video game, and I'm a indie video game developer as well. I love seeing indies win. I love seeing independent video game developers win. I even love the movie Indie, the movie. Oh, such a good movie. If you ever check it out, if you ever want to know what it is to be an indie video game developer, check it out. They went over with Super Meat Boy and some other indie developers. So again, if you're new here, just know I love video games. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like I love video games. Like literally on the desk, right here is what. Like just impromptu, then you know. See, this is a Nintendo DS. You know what's in here? Yu-Gi-Oh on the back, and Pokemon in the front. So it's like, I'm a gamer. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And just seeing people that are independent win, it just makes me smile. It makes me smile because it lets me realize that if they can do it, I can do it. And that's what I love to see. Because one day we're going to get back into video game development. But for now, let's just stick to this, and then I'll explain more of why that's significant. So this story ties back to the Pokemon model. So if you have watched this, if you're watching this now and you don't know what the Pokemon model is, I will leave a link, somewhere around this video, and you can just go and just watch that. Check out the entire thing because that's just pure gems. That's billion-dollar strategies, man. $1 billion. You need to check that one out because I'm telling you, when you apply that to your business, man, it's a game changer. It's literally a game changer. All right. So again, check that out. This episode 76 and 77 of Elevate with the podcast. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and watch it. Then come back. It will help you gain even more success. And this is the year, Kings and Queens. 2024 is the year of the breakthrough. So use the Pokemon model. Use these different models that we discuss in Elevate with E because it's not just about having the knowledge and saying it's power. It's applied knowledge is power. I'm telling you. This is why when people read 7 Steps to Creating a Dream manga series and they're like, it's incredible. It's because of the fact that we literally put in the work to make it incredible. Spent so much of that year reading 52 books, so much of it, and then applying, taking pieces, taking parts, and then putting it together and then transforming by the renewing of the mind. All right. So, yes, this is super inspiring for me to hear. See, the creator of Palworld was actually that, a creator. He wasn't just a suit. He wasn't just some rich person that said, you know what, we're just going to step into this industry and we're just going to make something that's going to make us money without working on game mechanics, without working on, an attack matrix, without working on all the different things that you need to create a great video game, actually having the structure, actually having maybe the A-star algorithms and all the other technical things that are there, as well as the aesthetics, as well as the animation. Like they spent time to get it done. See, he started with a $10,000 budget, right? Started with that $10,000 budget. And I'll just, even give you just a close-up while we discuss this right there. So started with a $10,000 budget. That's the money he got from crypto. And a 4-person team. Now watch this. By the end of production to early access, he had hired 40 people. Yes, 40 people and invested $7 million into his game. Guess how much return this has generated Pocket Pair? Guess. Guess how much? What do you think it is? 5, 10,000, 20,000? No. Here's how much money they generated off of investing $7 million into the game. All right, here it is. It is $569,810,000. So you have me $569,810,000. That is $359,880,000 based off of 12 million sales on Steam and $209,930,000 from Xbox. And this is the best part. Watch this. The game is still in early access. It's just $29.99. You can get that off of Steam or off of Xbox. That's the craziest part. Do you see that? A 9-figure payoff. Yes, 9 figures. 9 figures. That's a 2 Comic Club C award. Nine figures, 100 million, 5 times over. And here's what. Imagine what that would do for you in your life if you had intellectual property like that. This is what I'm telling kings and queens to get into stories, get into creating manga, get into your animes, get into your video games. Imagine what you could do with an intellectual property that generated you, not me, you, nine figures. And not just nine figures in 90 years. We're talking about nine figures in literally just in less than 90 days. Like the game just launched last month. All right. It hasn't been a long time. January, I think 19th is about basically a month later. And that's the craziest part. Nine figures in less than a month as of this recording. And the craziest part, they're just getting started. They haven't even gone into all the different aspects. And the funniest thing, man, here's the funniest part. This game isn't even done yet. Like literally, it's not even done. It's still in the process of getting done. So for real, it's not even in its final form. It's not even in its final form yet. And it's already made $500+ million off of a $7 million investment. I'm telling you, that return on investment is crazy. The return on investment when you invest into your dreams, it's so true. It's like that quote from that person, name is escaping me right now. If you pour all of your wallet into your mind will pour infinite amounts of wealth back into your wallet. See, this is amazing. Like, not even like maybe, not even kind of. This is literally amazing. It's crazy that you can be able to generate this level of success in such a short period of time from launch. The development cycle is a development cycle. That is a part, but just the launch, it's mad. So I know you hear me talk about all these numbers. You might be wondering, what is he talking about? Like, how can something that someone just created in some pixels be worth over 500 million, $500 million in less than a month? In less than a month off their, this is just the first Palworld. Pokemon has been going on for 25+ years. They've had so many iterations. That's why they're 105 billion. Palworld is almost, they're catching up to close to a billion very soon. So why is Palworld selling like mad? Here are a few reasons. Because it's controversial. Watch this. It's innovative. Because they model, don't steal. Yes. Because they use systems. Okay. And because they're prepared. So go through it again. Controversial. They're innovative. They model, they don't steal. They use systems and they are prepared. They are prepared. See, the biggest thing about Palworld was the controversy. A lot of people were like, you know what? What are we talking about here? This is a blatant ripoff. Look, there's the Pikachu right there on the left. And then this is I think a Grizz Spark, something like that. It's literally, it's a copy and paste. Like, how could you do this? People were getting up in arms, blah, blah, blah. Many gamers hated because they felt it was too close to one of their favorite games, Pokemon. Like, I remember going to Boston Comics and Color Festival, and I literally saw two older women. They were there having a great time. They came in the full Pokemon outfit. The full Pokemon outfit. They had the hair, they had the hat, they had the shirt, they had I think it was one had an Eevee, one had a Squirtle, I believe. They were just having a great time. They're great to talk to. And what I love is that you will literally see people repping Pokemon anywhere. I just went to Target just over the weekend. Saw a little kid with a Pikachu t-shirt. So that's what I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, get into making your merch. You see it behind me on there. We got Masego, we got Shani right there from Bold Saga. So I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, get into your merch. Because this is how you do it. Fight for your dreams. I'm wearing that right now. You need to create your intellectual property and you need to get into merchandising once you've started. Not just before. You could do it, but it's better to have it after you've already gotten it done so that you're just hitting the market and hitting the ground running. So I'm telling you, people love Pokemon. It's the #1 media franchise on the planet. It's worth $105 billion. It's so valuable, it's even worth more than Mickey Mouse. That's crazy. #2 greatest media franchise of all time is Hello Kitty. And these numbers are of 2018 from Title Max. So the numbers are probably even higher right now. It's probably worth maybe $140 billion. Who knows? But it's amazing to see that. And after playing both games, yes, I played both. I'm telling you the truth. I can see some similarities, but they are vastly different. Palworld shines because it's innovative, all right? It's blending survival games like Ark, Survival Evolved, adventure games like Zelda Breath of the Wild, third-person shooting games like Fortnite. This is what I talk about in 7 Steps to Creating a Dream Manga Series. We talk about all these things and more. Because when you innovate, it's your game. That's how you avoid copyright infringements, strikes from 750 up to $150,000. So when I'm telling you that you can literally go from idea to actual product, this is how you do it. Like we have the book, not just an ebook. 7 steps to creating a dream manga series, because it's all about taking those ideas in your head and then getting it done, because you may just have an idea in your head and then you flip it around, actually finish it, and then you actually create, multiple books because of the fact you were serious. And this book series right here in front of me is Bold Saga, Brave Armor's Limit Destroyer. It's not just for Black History Month, although you can get it now. It's available. We got the physical, the digital, and the audiobook for chapter 1. But it's more about how can you impact the people, generation, changing group esteem. All these things are possible when you get into creating your book. So innovation is key. Execution is rewarded, but innovation is worship. I'm telling you, when you actually get it done, that's what changes the game. No, it's actually flip. Innovation is rewarded. Execution is worshipped. If you want to get to the first reward, you have to get the job done. So that's what Palworld did. They did their own thing. They didn't call it Pokemon Pals. I didn't call it, I don't know, Pokemon World. They did their own thing. This is what we talk about when it's model, don't steal. Its IP does start with P. This is a strategy right here. Watch this. It starts with P, but it's 8 letters. It's not 7 characters. Pokemon is 7 characters. It doesn't have the E anywhere with the hyphen. So people can say, it's a conflict of interest, conflict of who is the source owner of this intellectual property. None of that. This game is about pals, not Pokemon. And pals is even shorter. Pokemon. Pokemon. It's 3 syllables. Pals. 1. Shorter is better, kings and queens. Shorter is better. So this game puts emphasis on the world aspect: survival, eating, resting. The pals have personalities. Some work hard, some are lazy, and there are pal squares instead of Pokeballs. So just to let you know, here it is right here. So I have played both. And I'm telling you. When you play Palworld, you see the difference. It is in a league of its own. That's a character flying a jet dragon. And these aren't just stills. Like you can literally, in the game, once you craft and get your characters ready and boss them up and level them up, you can actually equip them with special stuff. Like that's when you equip the saddle. You can just ride on the back of your dragon. I think it's a jet dragon. I currently have a night wing, which is basically like a giant bird. You can just go around in battle. Look how cute they are. Oh, they literally are. This is why I love talking about this, because this is literally when we talked about the Pokemon model. This is what we were getting to. We were getting to the aspect that you don't just have to reinvent the wheel. Just use what's working. This is the most valuable. This is the most valuable intellectual property strategy you can use on the entire planet. The Pokemon model, the creature catching system. All right. This is why Palworld went from relative obscurity to over $500 million in sales, in success. You know how much success that is in less than a month? In less than a month. So I'm telling you, the Pokemon model is not just some type of a joker. Maybe it'll work. Find a way to add it into any type of intellectual property you're working on. It. I guarantee you will get to the level of success you wanted faster, because people can't get enough of creatures. They're so cute. They're so fun. When I play Power, one of the things I enjoy too is the fact that you can actually feed your pals, and you can actually go over and pat them on the head after they did a good job, and they'll smile and be happy. You can cook up food. You can go on a journey with them. They'll tell you if they're hungry. So they've got way more personality than just your typical Pokemon in a Pokemon game. See, look at the smile. Look at that. Oh, it looks so happy. And sometimes when I'm stressed, I'll be playing Power. Like, this is nice. And the fact that there's a day-night cycle means that you're actually playing like a real survival game. Like if you are cold at night, you have no clothes, you'll die of frostbite. Like that's real. If you're hungry, you'll also die because of the fact that you need to drink water, you need to eat. Like even the pals have personalities. If they're sick, they won't feel like doing work. So you have to actually build a base, build a camp, all of that. And look at the style. They've captured the Pokemon-esque, simple manga anime chibi art style. It's beautiful. Don't know what the name of that pal is, but that's what I was talking about when I'm talking about like you build a base, you build a fortress. And what I love is that you can literally put pals on guard duty. You can have them with the a Gatling gun, or you can just basically have like mines set up to protect the area. Because there are raids that happen in this game. It's not like you're just going around with your pal having a good time. Out of nowhere, the pals will just come and just attack you at night. One time I was playing, a Relaxosaurus and a gang of them came over to just attack me. Another time, I'm there chilling, and then what is it? Giant flying birds just came, giant pals just came, just flew over and just started attacking us from the sky. Another time at night, my guy. Like it's literally crazy. This game will have people like literally the AI and the CPU will just come for you at night. So I was playing and out of nowhere, just about to go and let my character go to rest and get some sleep, the free pal alliance come out. Then they just start attacking you. And they'll literally try and attack you and destroy you and take you out. And if you die, you lose everything. You have to go back to where you dropped everything. So it's literally survival at its finest. Not survival of the fittest, it's survival at its finest. A phenomenal game. I played Ark as well. I prefer this game. Oh, it's so good. So good. Now, remember when I mentioned that? 19 million, not 19,000, 19 million players have played this game in less than a month. That's over $500 million. And this is just on Steam, which is PC, and Xbox. Imagine what happens when Palworld goes to Wii and it goes to PlayStation or it goes to some other platform. I'm telling you, you can also probably play, because Steam works on Apple as well as PC. So I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, you need to get into these systems. You need to get into these systems, man. The Pokemon model, using the creature catching, it's phenomenal. We're going to get to like the nitty gritty, because this is one of the reasons why there was so much contention. If you look at the PAL on the left, I think it's a Grizzbolt, and on the right, you have a Pikachu. Like, they're similar, but they're different. Like, the ears, you can kind of see it, but it's black and it's pink on the inside, whereas Pikachu, you don't see the actual, maybe cochlea, the inside of the ear. You know, Grizzbolt can literally hold a Gatling gun, because you can equip pals with weapons, which is fire. That is literally fire. And the hue is different. He looks like he has more, not just saturation. The value is darker. He's not the same. Whereas Pikachu is more bright yellow, remember, like a sunshine yellow. This Grizzbolt looks like maybe like a dark yellow or a darker yellow. And the nose is different. The nose is bigger. He's got a gigantic smile. So it's very reminiscent, but not too close. Even if you look at Grizzbolt's tail, the tail is shaped different, and he's gigantic. In fact, Grizzbolt looks more like a Raichu plus a Pikachu with a Gatling gun. Like it's literally insane how interesting they've done it. They didn't just come directly at Pokemon. They've mastered using the innovation aspect. Model, don't steal. They've taken from different intellectual properties. They've learned from them, and then they just did their own thing. So that's how you own. That's how they're in their blue ocean. They're not in the red ocean fighting for scraps. Now you can look at these pals. You know, the pals are the ones in 3D. The Pokemons are the ones in 2D. You know, Electabuzz and Grizzbolt. I'm not sure what the other Pokemon are. Lucario, and I'm not sure what that pal is. But you can see some similarities. But the reality is that when you are in your own lane, you can model, don't steal. All right, model, don't. This is how you become successful and wealthy. You look at what's working, you model, you don't steal. Once I learned it from Russell Brunson, I'm like, wow. He is the CEO of ClickFunnels. Their business has done over 100 million in like 3 years, and probably they're over $1 billion processing in terms of wealth for many businesses, millions of businesses. That literally shows you, Kings and Queens, model, don't steal, because he's the one that mentioned that. If you just copy and paste, you're getting sued. You're getting hit with, look, I'm telling you again, for everyone watching this, model, don't steal, because if you just copy and paste, you're going to get hit with a cease and desist. You're going to get hit with damages, copyright infringement. These things could be anywhere from $750 up to $150,000 in damages, maybe per infringement. Now, if you don't want to end up in millions in debt, because that's another type of millionaire, you can be in debt millionaire. Like, you don't want that. You want to get out of a sunk lost prison. You want to get out of that. Focus on model, don't steal. All right. Now let's get back to it. There we go. All right. So this is me actually playing the game. That's me on the Nightwing, and there's Azurobe, level 17. So what I love is that you will literally be in the world. It's live. It's real time. So I'm going to get into something that Vusi Tembequeo said and why this ties into this. So Watch this. So I'm in the world in real time. There's an Azurobe level 17. I'm going to try and catch it, right? So this game doesn't have like a pause. You know, in Pokemon, it's like turn-based strategy. I attack, and you attack. I attack, and you attack, or vice versa, or who's faster. This game is live. It's real time. So if you pause and put the controller down, they'll come and positives come and just destroy you. Like you really have to be on your toes. If you master key, if you don't have the focus to play the game or don't have the time, just turn it off because they will come for you. And they'll come at you. Like the Azurobe was literally trying to attack us, like literally striking us. So what do we have to do? After I knocked it down a peg, because in the game you can literally either fight with your hands or fight with weapons. Long range is key. Fought with the weapons long range. Did that. After a while, I pulled out a Pal Sphere. Now, Pal Sphere is not a Pokeball. It's a Pal Sphere. Did that. Threw it. And then, you have to wait for the capture cycle to let you know your success rate. Now, it says it's a kill, but it's not. You've captured it. Now, even in this game, it's non-violent violence, but it's in a different way. It's semi-violent because if you kill them, quote unquote, they don't die. Their model just bounces around like a beach ball on the floor with like maybe an X on their face or something like that. Like on the eyes, the manga anime where like someone's knocked out. So it's nothing crazy. Now, this is something I want to bring up as well because a lot of people like to say, oh, Palworld ripped off Pokemon, this, that, and the third, but when you look at what this person is literally telling you, they're mentioning it right there. They're literally telling you the truth. The fact is that Kelsey was mentioning on this. So Palworld plagiarized Pokemon, but Pokemon took inspiration from Dragon Quest. Double standards go like literally. You can literally see it on one side you have the Dragon Quest creatures, and on the other side you have the Pokemon. You got the Zubat, and then I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a Nidorina, not sure. Pinsir, not sure. And then there's a Centipede. I think that's what it's called. It's been a while. There's a Geodude, like it's Gyarados. Like you see a Dragonite, Kinger, I think Kingler, Coughing, Arcanine, I still remember the Pokemon rap. Gotta catch 'em all. Pidgeotto. I have no idea what this creature is. I forgot what it's called. There's a Nidoram. I think that's Nidorina, Nidoram. So you see how they copied, right? But they modeled, they didn't steal. Like it's close. People claim it's plagiarism. But the true plagiarism would be if you drew it and it's the exact one-to-one. This is close now. This one is a bit closer. It feels like what Palworld did, but it feels like way, way, way closer. So this is probably one of the reasons why Pokemon will never come after Palworld directly. Maybe they'll do something indirectly. Who knows? But the point is that what goes around comes around. Pokemon got ideas from Dragon Quest. I think Dragon Quest came out in 1986. Pokemon came out in 1996. So you can just literally see for yourself, and you can recognize the truth. Model don't steal works. They've been doing the Pokemon model. It's called the Pokemon model because of the category canon. Because if it were the case, it would be Dragon Quest that would be known, and we would be calling it the Dragon Quest model. But Pokemon's been doing this for a while. They've been doing it, and they're very successful at it. Because what's one thing that you notice in Dragon Quest and Pokemon? Have you seen it? Do you know why the Pokemon model and the Pokemon creatures are going to be more successful, in my opinion, just looking at it, and why parents would probably think the same way as well? Pokemon is aimed at kids, and it's simple. Dragon Quest, these look more serious and dastardly. It's more like a sinister vibe. Look at this creature. This is terrifying. You see a Ghastly, it's semi-scary. Like it's just a little scary, a little sense of danger, just a little taste. So this is what happens, kings and queens, when you focus on simplicity. Clarity is better. Clear is better than clever. Again, clear is better than clever. You need to be clear. You need to have clarity when you speak, when you create, when you draw. It's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, I also believe that One Piece is able to sell so many, 400 million units by the same author in his lifetime. Why? Because the simplicity of the characters. The story is very, very deep, but the simplicity of the character design. We already have the One Piece model. You can check that one out in your spare time. So this is what I love to talk about, kings and queens, to let you know it's the Pokemon versus Palworld. This is the multi-million mindset. See, we've discussed both of them. Palworld is new. Pokemon's been doing this for a long time. I mean, literally 20 plus years. To the point when I went to Target, like I mentioned this past weekend, I literally saw that they have the Pokemon in Time magazine. And when I have to get this issue actually one of these days. This issue literally shows Pokemon's the games, the shows, the evolution. Like the game is it says 25 years. 25 years of Pokemon in America. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. They have been doing this thing for a very long time. There's Bulbasaur on the front with the green and the red. That's the contrast, complementary. Love to see it. Love to see it. So this is what I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, get into creating your intellectual properties. Focus on modeling. Don't steal. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this is how you change the game. This is one of the reasons why when you look at them side by side, you can notice a difference. You can notice the fact that they're close, but that's it. They're close, but they're different. They're in their own lane. So again, this is how Palworld is Pokemon like, but it's not direct ripoff. Like they have Pokeballs and Pokemon, they have Pal Spheres in Pal World. And Pocket Pair use systems to build Palworld. That's the one thing I really want to get into because a lot of people keep thinking, oh, you got to grind, you got to work, you got to hustle. No, it's not just that. It's also systems. Put systems in place, and systems will take care of you. Systems will take care of you. This is why I love this quote that I even put in 7 Steps to Creating a Dream Manga series. You want to hear it? Here it goes. Knowledge is better than wealth. Now, watch this. Why? You have to look after wealth, but knowledge looks after you. African proverb. Knowledge is better than wealth. You have to look after wealth, but knowledge looks after you. African proverb. So what is that telling you? When you have the proper knowledge, it will take you so much further. It'll take you so much further than just having the money. Having the money without the mindset is the money that's going to slip through your hands. But having the mindset with the money, oh my, having the mindset, it attracts the money. Money is attracted to ideas. So if you saw that meme where the guy's looking at, he's looking at someone, he's walking, he's turning around to look at the other girl. That's you without ideas, and then money is the one in the center, and the turning towards the person looking at them. That is the idea. You want to have the proper ideas. This is why we're talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about so many breakthrough topics this year because I want to see you win, Kings and Queens. I really want to see you win this year specifically. Yes, all the other years matter going forward, but this year, I just feel, you ever feel something big is about to happen, something great, something tremendous, something profound? You're on the cusp, just the tip, just the edge of greatness, and you're about to step into it. This is your year, Kings and Queens. You're so close to that bestseller, so close to that first book, so close to that first $1 million day, so close to the first 10 million, and so much more. But you have to get these systems in place. So watch this. I'll compare you systems to build Palworld. They've released other games. It wasn't just Palworld. They released Overdungeon, Craftopia, AI Art Imposter. Every game built upon its predecessor, and all of that fueled the birth of Palworld, each one connected to the other. That's why Steve Jobs is right. You're not going to make sense of what you're going through looking forward. You make sense, you connect the dots looking backwards. That's how everything connects. That's how it all connects when you look back and it's like, wow, I really did have to go through graphic design. Because by going through graphic design, I hated it and failed in logo design class after class. I eventually mastered it by helping people. And then from there, I've been able to make my own manga series and self-publish 14 books. Now, when I was in graphic design, I hated it because I was like, I don't care about no Gutenberg press. I don't care about no color theory. And then I was like, ooh, it's actually fascinating. Once I start to sit down and think, so what is it in your life, Kings and Queens, that you may have hated or despised going forward or just looking at it objectively, but when you really sat down and thought about it, you actually enjoyed it. You actually saw there was value in it. What's that for you? You can leave a comment and let us know. And another thing I learned about Palworld, the creator, Takuro Mizobe, is that he had investments. He got the 10,000 from crypto. I heard that he also worked on basically like the Japanese version of LinkedIn. So there was money coming in. To be able to invest $7 million, he had his systems in place. But the way our Pocket Pair prepared is that they were prepared in an unconventional way. Their entire budget was no budget. They invested as much money as possible, and the goal was to keep going until their bank account was empty, then borrow money after that. It was like go for broke, and even if you're broke, keep going, keep swinging, keep going. They were playing to win, not just playing to lose. And this is why it's so important, Kings and Queens. A lot of times we keep thinking, I gotta have a plan A, but if the plan A doesn't work, I have plan B, and then C, and then D, and then E. You have to focus on one thing until completion. Focus on one thing until completion. Focus on that thing. Yes, jack of all trades, master of none, but it's often better than a master of one. That is a fact. That is a fact. But the world loves specialists. This is how life works. When you're a specialist, you make more money than a generalist. Like a neurosurgeon is going to make more than just a general standard operating doctor. So this is what I'm telling you, kings and queens. Find the thing that you're focused on. Because where focus goes, energy flows. All right. So I'm telling you, they were playing to win, not just to lose. I heard that from Nehemiah Davis as well. You have to be playing to win. They were hungry for success. In addition, when the plan didn't go the way they wanted, they pivoted. They hired the best people they could find to fill in the roles they needed. They even, I'm going to get to that in a moment, from convenience store workers to veteran animation developers. So they were trying to get the best of the best, almost like One Piece, trying to hire this person, that person to join the crew. Now, even when development moved from Unity to Unreal, which means they basically had to rebuild the game, and I've worked with game engines. I haven't worked with Unreal Engine yet, but I have worked with Unity. Unity is amazing. That's my favorite. But I'm seeing what people are doing with Unreal. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So they had to rebuild the game, but they just kept going, and now they're winning with their 9-figure intellectual property. See, this goes back to what Vusi Tembekweo said. We have this weird misconception, this very weird misconception of this. We're focused on being the biggest, but we need to be focused on being the best. When you are the best, that's where the wealth is. It's not about being the biggest. It's not about having like the biggest just audience alone. Like, are you the best at what you said you're going to do? That's where the wealth is. And then Lucy Tembeguera went through different companies. There were phone companies. He went through Nokia. Nokia, they were the best. And then people voted with their dollars and they became the biggest. Then they left room for innovation. They stopped innovating. And then what happened is that BlackBerry came in. They were from Canada. They innovated. They went from just the touchpad on the phone to actually having like the slide up keyboard. They innovated. They became the best. People voted with their dollars. And then after that, they became the biggest. And then along the lines, then you hear about Apple, then you hear about smartphones like Samsung and all the other companies. And this is what happens, kings and queens. If people are too focused on being the biggest, they leave room for innovation, pockets of innovation. People are like, I would rather do this, or I would rather do that. I would rather see this and that. And then bam, that's where innovation. So it's a strange thing. Innovation almost like creates a pool, like a desire pool, something that people are just like, I want to see this happen, and then another person, and all those people start to say, I would love to see it. Me personally, I love playing Pokemon as a kid, but one thing that always got me was like the turn-based aspect. I'm not about that. I'd rather see real-time action, like when I play Jack and Daxter, Super Smash Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, all the classics, man, all the classics. I love real-time action. So to be able to be 3D, real-time in an open world and just going around, no loading. You just literally go around and just explore. It's phenomenal. I probably explored maybe 20% of the game. So that literally tells you Rusita McQuail said was right. Be focused. Be hyper intentionally focused on being the best, not the biggest. Become the best. And literally at this point, Pokemon is the biggest when it comes to the creature catching system. We literally talked about the Pokemon model on this podcast already. But the thing is, they've left the pool. People are disgruntled with the new Pokemon games. They don't like how they're not investing into revolutionizing the game. Each game is just a small iteration change. They're not really doing anything different. They're not doing anything innovative. And that's literally, if you're not innovating, you're dying. And that's the sad part. Even though they're worth $105 billion, that may not always be the case. Pocketback could flip around and then they're worth $200 billion. You don't know, or $1 trillion. Like, this is the thing about innovation. So I see the next Pokemon games coming out, it's going to change everything. So what can I tell you, kings and queens? When you're focused on your dreams and your goals, don't just focus on only being the biggest. Focus on being the best. And if you become the biggest in the process, never lose sight of becoming the best. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. See, that quote right there, that's a standard to uphold. That's a mentality. That's a mindset. And when you have that mind shift, you shift and you move and you step into greatness. So I'm telling you, be like Ash Ketchum. Be like Ash Ketchum, kings and queens. Be focused on being the best, the very best that no one ever was. All right, now let's get back into it. So what does any of this have to do with Pokemon? Well, everything. See, Pokemon is the #1 media franchise on Earth, and when you compare Palworld to the last installment, It's not even a fair assessment. How can a little tiny indie studio outmaneuver a media giant? Very easy. Pokemon is the biggest, but currently, in my opinion, Palworld is the best. Again, I've played both. I've shown you. I literally have the Pokemon game here. I think I have Pokemon Pearl. Yes, I was playing it. I think I was on the Elite Four. That's the part I stopped at. It was fun after a while. I need to see something different. I like real time action. I'm probably going to save it and see if I can start again and do it all over again because it's just amazing. But I love Palworld. The fact also it's on Steam because it's very interesting when you look at it. They're two different things. Palworld and Pokemon. They're in the same category of creature catcher, but they're playing two different games. Again, I've played both. I can tell you honestly, and I'm not an affiliate. This is not a paid ad or anything. Just objectively speaking. See, people vote with their dollars. That's how they can tell you if they like it or if they don't like it. And I can confidently say Palworld is better. Pokemon has been doing it longer, but Palworld is better. Why? Way more creative. It's open world. The Pal Tamer can fight alongside the Pals. Love it. It's real-time combat, so literally watch out because I have a Bushi. Like when they have the PvP, I'll be here and then the Bushi will immediately just come right in the opponent's face and just start slashing. So cool. Literally so cool. The pals have special attacks. The pals have their own standard attacks. So when you fly on a pal, you can literally have like different tactics you can go by. You can also do combat, and you can literally fire your weapon while on the back of the pal. Phenomenal. Literally phenomenal. I've seen people even go up in like jet dragons or flying eagles, the Nightwing, and just start rockets, just firing down rockets on people. It is phenomenal. So again, you can interact with the world way more efficiently. You can ride on the back of the pals into combat, or just for fun. Because I go on the Nightwing and just fly, so you can go over zones and areas much faster. You can create your player's avatar appearance, so you can change the melanin, you can change the hair. They didn't just give us the Fooly hairstyle like they gave Eddie from King of Fighters and what they gave Miles. That's a standard hairstyle. It's too much. It's too much. African hair. There's so many ways you can innovate on it. Again, you can create your player's character avatar, right? You can customize your player's appearance. You can change your clothes. I like that. And as you change the clothes and put on new armor, you get stronger because each one has its own strength level. There's a crafting system in the game. There are eggs. You can hatch the eggs. There are boss battles and raids. Like I told you, they can come for you at night. The pals have adorable animations. When I look at the animations, they're like, oh, this is nice. You literally pull out your pal. You can literally start walking and they'll just follow you. And if a pal senses danger like the Bushi, or even the Teefant. Oh, Teefant is my favorite. That's my favorite pal. It's a really cute looking. I'm a little teapot, short and stout, plus an elephant. It's like, it's literally so cute. It's so cute. So when I see it, and the cool thing is when you have pals on your base, you can literally have them taking care of your base. So it's almost like Palworld is preparing someone to be an CEO and employing people. So you can have your pal, planting seeds. You can have another pal like the Teefant, watering the seeds, and then the wheat will grow, and then you harvest that. You can put it up. You can harvest wheat, berries. You can harvest rocks. Build a quarry. You can build like electric generator. It's very innovative. It's almost like building a small city or a small tribe. Oh man, or a tribe to that man. It's very, very incredible. The animations are top tier. I love seeing the little cute animations and also the serious ones. When the serious pals come out, and there's legit a samurai pal named Bushi, which is Japanese for warrior. I talked about that. That's one of my favorite pals. It's like having a secret agent or just having a bodyguard. It's like 8 feet tall and it's quick, no joke. And they come close to Pokemon, but they do it on their own. Now, you can play with your friends online in real time. I love that. My best friend went over. We're playing on Palworld and just literally oh man, just being able to see people in real time and play, phenomenal. And you can have dungeons, my guy. Just literally dungeons. You can just go into a dungeon and then there's a pal in there, a giant pal waiting for you. In some cases, Bushi was one of them I had to take out, and you can actually capture those pals. And it reloads. If they die, another one will be there in probably like 24 hours, between 4 hours and 24 hours. There was a Pengulet, which is like a penguin with like a hat. looked like a conquistador hat or something like that, or Napoleon hat. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Now, again, one of the major differences, key differences, Pokemon is, I've talked about this before, I'll say it again, non-violent violence. It's mild fantasy violence. Like in Bold Saga, you'll see mild violence. Like, yes, the story will probably get into different levels as it progresses and get more serious. This is just the nature of most manga, because One Piece got started and where it's at, completely different. But it starts small because that's how you get a lot of people just to see the story, like it, try before they buy deep, investing years, months, weeks, years, all that. Mild violence, mild fantasy violence. This is where major wealth is built. It's rated E. Look at that. Pokemon, rated E. Hello Kitty, rated E. Most Disney related content, rated E. Wealth is generated when it's E. E is for money. Like literally, that's literally for extensive wealth. Like you can build so much wealth off of just having quality content. Like people have talked about it. They see Bold Saga, they're like, your book series is so great. Why don't you make coloring books? Did it. Made the coloring book. Made it last year, along with 10, made 12 books. So many books last year we self-published, all because of the fact that we listened to our target audience. And we created E-rated content. Most, if not all the stuff, no, yes, all the stuff we have, it's literally a child could read it. Yes, it's aimed for teenagers, but a child could read it. There's no wilding, there's no hypersexualization of children, there's no intense blood and gore or any sexual innuendos or any type of nonsense like that. There's black love. There's Masego's parents are in his life and they love him. That's Masego back there. And then to the left of him is Shawnee. So there's Masego, there's Shawnee, and they're from World Saga. I learned from Pokemon. Yeah, yeah. I was even thinking about the same thing with Avatar: The Last Airbender. When you keep it simple, silly. I'm not gonna say stupid. Keep it simple, silly. You win more. When you're hyper violent and sexualized and all that, that's gonna be for a specific crowd, a specific audience, a specific genre, right? But you're not going to gain the same level of wealth. This is the reason why Bleach is not as wealthy as One Piece. Why Berserk is not as wealthy as Pokemon. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right. Now, Palworld is semi-violent. Even when you defeat a pal and they die, the body just rolls like a beach ball. There is no blood. It's rated T for teen. So, now that we've gotten all that out the way, let's get into the next level. What multi-million mindsets can you learn from these two intellectual properties? Okay, so we're going to start with Palworld, then we're going to Pokemon. All right, one, from Palworld, be yourself. And we got be obsessed with improvement, invest in your team. A team beats an individual. Hire the best people you can. Be independently wealthy. I have to just put a pin in there for a second. Be independently wealthy. When you're working on your dreams, when you're working on your goals, it's going to cost money. Love the people, use the money. Don't just love the money and use the people. That's how you become a bad-minded person. That's how you're going to be lacking mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're going to lose long term. It's better to love the people, use the money. This is why I love what Palworld's creator did. Kuro Mizobe, he had the money, invested in the team. He was focused on getting it done as quickly as possible. And now look, he's already got his 500 million. Imagine if he was just hoarding the money. I don't want to, pay the best people. I'm just going to try to figure it all out myself. He'd probably be spending 50 years and make $1 or maybe no dollars. So this or yen or whatever currency, no money. So you make big money, you make wealth by team. It's not self-made wealth, it's team-made wealth. So I'm telling you, kings and queens, I'm telling you, become independently wealthy. This is the reason why we have self-publishing goldmine, a group coaching program to help you create your story worth its weight in gold. This is why we have our self-publishing goldmine kingdom. This is why we have these different intellectual offers. And these offers themselves, even the 7 Steps to Creating a Dream manga series book, because you have to start somewhere. Pokemon started with self-publishing. We're starting with our manga. So what you start with is not your end goal. You're using it to build your audience, build your community, build your fan base, and provide key value. You want to be a KPI, a key person of influence. And the best way to become that and build that influence, become an author, become a creator. To be honest, when you create your video game, you're an author because you're authoring, you're creating something, an audiobook. Get your communication out there, use your imagination. All right, let's get back into it. Model, don't steal. We went through that extensively already. Innovation is key. See, innovation is rewarded, execution is worship, like Dr. Eric Thomas said. Focus on speed. Success loves speed. Get to the court first, get to the ball first, get to success first. First mover's advantage. I learned that in Impex years ago when I went with my dad on a business event. I'm telling you, first mover's advantage is not a joke. It's a real thing. Get your first mover's advantage in Kings of Queens. Be the first in your space to do something innovative that's never been done before. Be the best, not the biggest. Lucy Tembequeo, protect your intellectual property, then get it in front of as many people as possible as you develop it. I'm telling you, get your copyrights, get your trademarks, then go out and take over your territory, kings and queens, take over your domain, take over that space that you know you've been called, you've been destined, you've been purposed, and you've been assigned to do. That is your deployment, that is your mission. While you're here on earth, find your mission and do it. Do it, kings and queens, do it, because that's how you change the game. All right. Next up, charge premium prices. Too many times we're so thoughtful of just the other person that we don't want to charge our worth. That's why you have a business, kings and queens. And also target people who actually have the money to afford it. If the people don't got it, then just change your target audience. I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, if it was the other way around and they were marketing, they probably would have raised the price even higher. Or they may not even do it. But you had the courage to go out and relate your ideas, your communication, put it out in a book, in a product, in an offer, whatever it is. So I challenge you to charge premium prices. You may not start there, but you can build up to it. I'm telling you. If you can get one client, two clients, three clients, and it's a 4, 5, 6 figure deal, and you're helping them, providing them expert solutions, that's going to change the game. And that's going to help you have the funds available to invest into CPAs, into trademark lawyers, into legal fees if you ever run into legal challenges, all of those things and more. So I'm telling you, and also for advertising, for traveling, charge premium prices. The whole fact that they had money coming in to the point that they had $7 million available to invest into the video game, just a little train, little engine that could. Now they went from investing 7 figures and then they got a 9 figure payoff. Mm, that ROI is incredible. So I'm telling you, kings and queens, I'm telling you. And they didn't even have to worry about ROAS, the return on ad spend, because of the fact it's so close and it's controversial to Pokemon. People are talking about it. So now it's like Jonah Berger's book, Contagious. Like it literally becomes contagious. People are like, oh my gosh, Palworld this. Palworld lost 50% of its players in like 3 weeks after the game came out. Palworld is doing amazing. Palworld sold 19 million. The fact that we're talking about Palworld today, it just shows the point of being contagious. This is another way that you can do your advertising, kings and queens, your marketing. Don't just focus on just telling people to buy. Be exceptionally great. Be phenomenal, as Dr. Eric Thomas says, or you will be forgotten. So when you're so phenomenal, like Palworld is, it's hard to be ignored. It's hard to just, people just look and just ignore you. People are going to probably love or hate you, but it's going to be polarizing. That's how you build your brand. That's how you build your multi-million-dollar brand. And I see Palworld becoming a multi-billion-dollar brand very easily. Very easily. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use what works and what is winning, kings and queens. Use what works and use what is winning. Again, use what works, use what is winning. Now, let's get into the multi-million mindsets from Pokemon. Focus on your target audience. Create content that sticks. Use non-violent violence in your IP. That's a big one. People don't want to see, a monster going against another monster in your story, and one gets their head cut off, or one gets something like super bloody. Like no one wants that. Truthfully, parents want to make sure their kids are having a great time with their friends, with their family, with them, and they don't want to have something that's like overly bloody, unless that's your target audience. Do you? But if it's a family, parent, and child, you want to be in the E. You want to be in the non-violent, violent range. That's why Avatar: Last Airbender is such a great series, because of the fact of this. They're using elements. You're not really seeing someone get punched or boxed or kicked in the face. So it's non-violent violence. When I mean by that is you're not coming into contact, direct contact all the time with an enemy, with an opponent. Non-violent violence is how you make your millions. It's how you get wealthy. Grow your IP to media franchise. Media franchise, look up the word etymology of a franchise. You'll see it's so powerful. It is so powerful. I'm telling you, kings and queens, Get into creating a media franchise. Get into creating a media franchise. It's not just a maybe. It's not just a kind of. It's not just a maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Get into media franchising. Get your story started. Get your story out there. And then once you get your story out there, get it into as many different formats. All right. Release all your products together. One thing I love about Pokemon is this. When they release it, it's like the anime comes out and the video game and the card game and the merchandising and the licensing. So this is how you do it, kings and queens. Again, offer is better than products. And an offer is all the different things that you have together in one for an amazing, amazing price. It's an irresistible offer. So if you have $1 and I have $1 and we exchange, there's no real value exchange. We're back to square one. But if I say I'll give you 10 of my dollars for one of your dollar, who's winning? You're winning. And you'd be fool or you'd be stupid if you say no. That's not a good deal. I'm talking about like you literally see me pull out like real verifiable $10 and you have one. You give me a one, I'll give you my 10. That's how wealth is formed. You do that 100 times, it's $100. You do that 1,000 times, it's $1,000. And people know, like, and trust you. The KLC factor rises. Doubts go down. That's how you do it, kings and queens. That's how you do it. Trans media is key, and that's basically what media franchise is. When you have the comics and the manga and the books and the coloring books and the children's books and the merchandise and the hats and the dog bowls and the custom sneakers. This is how you change the game. Transmedia. That's how you do it. Next up, create your own blue ocean. Don't fight over a red ocean. You saw Dragon Quest, you saw Pokemon. Pokemon didn't call the game PokeQuest, they called it Pokemon. Now we have years later, Pokemon exists. Palworld didn't call it Palmon World Poke or some foolishness. They literally called it Palworld, and it's one character longer, so that's another protection as well. So I'm telling you, kings and queens, I'm telling you, create your own blue ocean, like Palworld did, like Pokemon did. Make a video game. I mean, it is the greatest form of media. Like, video games are so great to the point that, again, the number one media franchise on earth is video games. If you don't know, look up the statistics. You'll find a very interesting fact. Video games make more money than movies. Why? Because when the video game sells, because of the DLC, because of the cosplay, because of the way how it's structured, because of the in-app purchases, because of all the different reskins, because years later after the game exists, you can literally have a remastered edition. There's so many benefits to creating a video game. That's why I got into video game development, because I love it. And then I found like, wow, this is very lucrative. You can actually become very successful with video games. Just before I even recorded this podcast, I literally saw that they're having the Borderlands movie. I haven't played the game yet. I know it's crazy. They said Chaos Loves Company. Got Kevin Hart, got Jack Black, got, I think, Kate Blanchett, and some other actors and actresses as well. So what does that tell you, kings and queens? These actors are getting into video game movies. Sonic the Hedgehog, that already happened. Uncharted, that already happened. I can't wait for a Jack and Daxter movie. I just hope they don't ruin it. I really hope. Super Mario movie just came out, worth $1 billion. So I'm telling you, when they've already done Pokemon movies. They've already done the Pikachu movie. So I'm telling you, get into video games. They are the greatest form of media. They're the closest thing you can get to life, experiencing life in a form of art and entertainment. Now, next up, light over darkness. Stories that are lighthearted win overall. You can debate me, you can quote me. Look, the reality is the truth is this. You have to put some light in. If it's always darkness, you're going to attract darkness. But there's more light than darkness, man. There's more light. People are more long-term attracted to light than darkness. So that's why Pokemon is worth, again, $105 billion, and Bleach is worth, and I don't even know. It's not even on the same category. It's not even on the same scale. Like, even when you think about Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh, they kind of came out close to around the same time. Pokemon is number one. Yu-Gi-Oh is somewhere, I think, towards the middle end of the top 25 media franchises of all time. So what does that tell you? Focus on light. Bring light into the world. Be the light. Be the city on the hill. The bushel can't even contain you. Be the light. Shine the light. The world's getting darker. People need things that are going to entertain them and encourage them and inspire them. As life goes on, you need to create content that's going to empower and inspire people. So be the light. Be the light over the darkness, so that your stories are lighthearted and win overall. Next up, this is a big one. Market to kids. When you sell to kids, you're selling to the whole family. This is one of the reasons why in Bold Saga chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, you don't really see an age range. I mean, the content is pretty mild. You're not going to see anything mad, mad violent or, grotesque. You know, it's basically good that a child can read it. A child could read it. So, like 7 and up. And then as you grow and as you go, then you can add in more content, more different things. But I'm telling you, market to kids. That's when you get the big bucks. When you sell to kids, you are selling to a whole family. Pokemon is literally aimed at 7 and up. 7 and up. One Piece is aimed at 14 and up because of the violence, because of the sexuality and the undertones and other stuff they put in it. Pokemon is worth 105 billion, right? One Piece is worth 20 point, I think, 0.045 billion, something like that. The point is this: they're 5 times more valuable because they marketed to kids and are not hypersexualized and all types of other stuff. So what does that tell you, kings and queens? You truly trying to get that bag, trying to attract the bag, trying to become successful? This is how you do it. This is how you do it, kings and queens. Next up, next up, next up. Again, I'll say it again one more time. Market to kids, because when you sell to kids, you're selling to the whole family. Now, master one lane, then grow. Pokemon began with self-publishing. They got that mastered. They got their teammate, the person that works with them. I think it's Ken Sugimori. From there, they moved on to video games. They moved on to movies. They moved on to merch, to licensing, etc. All these things are possible because we're obsessed with one thing and then they moved on. They were obsessed with video games. They used the self-publishing to get people in. That was like their lead generation, their lead magnet. That was how they were able to get their artists to join their team. So I'm telling you, kings and queens, I'm telling you. Find the right people and focus on one thing. Master one lane, then you switch over. Learn it from Derek Boone. Master the lane, then you switch over. Then master that lane, you switch over. But you're still like in your highway. You just switch lanes as you continuously grow. You take over more space and you dominate your lane. Next up, licensing is key. The licensing expo is coming up, kings and queens. So check that out. Develop your IP so much that it can collaborate with other companies and products. I was literally speaking to a queen last year, and they were saying, "I like Bold Saga. This would do great on." Watch what they said on underwear, on backpacks, and I'm just expanding on that. Toothbrushes, merch, hats, doggy bags, all that stuff. And then with a licensing deal, you just sit back and just collect the money. Licensing deal is how I think Lonnie Johnson was able to get hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know if he reached billions though, but he got very wealthy through licensing the Super Soaker. The man is a genius. So what does that tell you, kings and queens? Tap into your zone of genius, your zog, your zone of genius. All right. Make your intellectual property, create your books, change the game, and then license your products. License your products. Next up, focus on your strengths, delegate your weaknesses. And that basically ties into what I was going to say. The bonus is partnership. Like you need to find people to partner with. It's no more pessimism, no more I'll do it all on my own. That's rugged individualism. You're not going to get to the top just fighting every enemy that comes against you. Watch any anime. Watch any manga. Read any manga. You'll see it. The main character has his opponent he has to go against. His squad, his team takes care of other people. You see it in My Hero Academia. You see it in One Piece. You see it in Naruto. You see it in Gundam Wing. Rewatching that right now. Phenomenal childhood. That's one of my favorite animes, period. So, what does that tell you? You have to find and focus on your strengths. There's a book called Strengths Finder. So, check that out. It's literally about focusing on your strengths. Double down on your strengths and delegate your weaknesses. Now, watch this. When you focus on your strengths, when you focus on partnership and teamwork, a proper team, right? Watch this. When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Ethiopian proverb again. When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Not just the spiders, the spider webs, because the spider webs are from the spiders. It's an Ethiopian proverb. That's the power. You see the size of a lion, you see the size of a spider, but when the spider webs unite, when they unite, they can tie up a lion. So even if the enemy is much bigger than you, even if the challenge is much bigger than you, if you have the proper team, you have no limits. You have no limits. This is the reason why I say this. Not just because I got no limits, we got no limits. But you got to believe it. You got to speak it into existence. You got to have that mindset. So that is the multi-million mindsets. Next up is this, the fun fact. I'll say it again and I'll say it again and I'll say it again. Pokemon model will always be fresh. We literally had Pokemon versus Palworld just to show you the validity of it. I just created the Pokemon model, talked about it, has to be at least 6 months or so, maybe 7 to 8 months ago. Very, very recent, right? And now look at the fact that not even a year plus later, there's an intellectual property that's using the same Pokemon model, made $500 million in like a month. Yes, people have stepped away from the game. They'll be back. They'll be back when they have all the other features, the raids, to the next level, teams, being able to go PvP. The amount of money that they have in success, it's only inevitable that they hit the billion and beyond. Next up, power quotes of the day. You can't have a multi-million-dollar dream with a minimum wage work ethic. Stephen C. Hogan, there are 3 things you must do in order to become wealthy. You must have the right mindset, discover your purpose in life, and find a business that expresses that purpose. Andy Fuel. Now I'm going to say it again. You can't have a multi-million-dollar dream with a minimum wage work ethic. Again, you can't have a $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. Stephen C. Hogan. There are 3 things you must do in order to become wealthy. You must have the right mindset, discover your purpose in life, and find a business that expresses that purpose. Andy Fuel. Oh, that is a fire name. Literally fire name. More fire. Anyway, let's get into it. Upcoming events and more. I've been waiting to talk about this as well. Virtuous Con is coming back, Kings and Queens. Yes, Virtuous Con. I'm telling you, now is the time, now is the season. If you are into comics, if you're into manga, if you're into any type of intellectual property, you have to check out Virtuous Con because it's phenomenal. Like, look at this. The future is ours. I've gone to every Virtuous Con, and I can tell you for a fact, it is amazing. It's literally amazing. So, just got it. These are the people that are coming in as the guest speakers. They got Vashti Harrison, Tanarive Du, Victor Laval, Malcolm Barrett, David Stewart II, N.K. Jemison. And here are the sponsors for 2024: Otaku Noir, Adobe, Best Jacket Press, Patron Hunt, Remo, Lion Forge Entertainment, and Wacom. My gosh, that's fire. And these are the people that have been here before. You've got David Ayala. I remember seeing him on Supergirl, Black Pioneers in Animation, Newbie is back. They've had a lot of successful people come to their event. And what I love is that they're just authentic. Like, they're literally authentic, and it's in a lane of its own. So I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, I'm telling you, you have to go to Virtuous Con. Like, if you're truly into creating manga, intellectual properties, your comics, books, movies, animation, video games, it's phenomenal. Now, I'm going to be there. This is why I'm telling you to come. It's my ethical bribe, all right? I'm going to be giving away some webinars where we're going to be, well, not just webinars, we're going to be discussing a lot of high value information. You come to the event, come to my booth, 3 days. 3 days, we're going to be providing pure game, pure fire, like literally helping you win on purpose because I want to see you win. So when you come to Virtuous Con, come to the booth. I'm on the 2nd floor. Great deal. There's a lot of other amazing vendors, but come to the booth. And on top of that, they are giving away gifts. I already won one of the gifts, Kings and Queens. Guess what I won? Because I attended not just Virtuous Con, but I attended their Art versus Artist giveaway. I won a Wacom 1. I won a Wacom 1. Yes. So why is that phenomenal? That's phenomenal because of the fact I love drawing. So this will help me on my journey to continuously create Bold Saga, which is our Afrofuturism manga series, right? Now watch this. They're also giving away Cintiq. So if you want to make these, right? You want to make these actual Afrofuturism manga books or just books in general, I highly recommend you get a Wacom. If you want to make one of these, right? It takes a while to actually draw these characters, to draw these systems, to draw everything that you need for your manga series, for your books, for your illustrations. Wacom is phenomenal. In my opinion, they're the best. They've been doing it for the longest. They're the biggest. XP Pen and others are coming up there, like Mark Bonet mentioned, even Huion. But the point is this: Wacom is giving away a Cintiq. You can enter the competition, and here's the best part. Should I tell you? Yes, I'll tell you. They are literally giving you the option of entering this competition with Wacom, right? And here's the thing. On Friday, they're going to have a live, like American Idol type of event where people are going to vote live and see, like, we want this person to win and that person. And it's going to be like the judges. The people are going to decide. The people's champion. So if you want to be the people's champion and get a free Wacom, it's going to save you a couple $100 unless you want to buy one yourself. So come to Virtuous Con. Enjoy amazing time. Enjoy amazing events. I'm going to be vendoring all 3 days. I'm going to be providing value in the vendor booths. Basically, it's a webinar. So you can check it out. It's workshops, really. That's what it is. It's workshops, masterclasses. Come through. Learn some things that you've never heard before to take your game to the next level and become successful with your first self-published book, with your first, oh my gosh, when you get your first book done, oh my. We want to help you win Kings and Queens. And if you already have a book, how you can become even more successful with your books. Again, I've gone to every Virtuous Con. Every Virtuous Con, it's been incredible. Even this year, they got Royal Coupe and White Manga coming as well. Again, I've even won a streaming setup. The keyboard I'm using right now, won that from Virtuous Con. So it's for the winners, Kings and Queens. Winners win and losers lose. If you want to be a winner, if you want to get to that next level, if you want to see not just winning like getting a game, but winning like group esteem, this is where the winners are, Kings and Queens. No loser content here. Just pure winners, seeing Black Kings and Queens win, see Kings and Queens of all ethnicities win. It's a sight to behold. So I'm telling you, check out Virtuous Con. It is coming up February 23rd to the 25th. That is this week, Kings and Queens. That is this week. It's only 3 days from now. So check it out, and I look forward to seeing you there. And the next thing I want to share with you is this. That's a beautiful painting. Learn with Great Gale Academy. Again, at Great Gale Academy, join an exclusive members-only community, get high-quality structured courses, and much more. Why? Because again, this is about taking the limits off your dreams. All right? We want to help you go from idea to finished book with your group, with our group coaching program, which is Self-Publishing Goldmine. Turn your dreams into reality with Great Gale Academy. Again, turn your dreams into reality with Great Gale Academy. That's how you do it. If you really want to actually do this thing, if you really want to actually go from, how can I have just an idea in my head to an actual book and actually like, I actually got it done. How can I actually get this thing done? This idea for this book. How can I actually do cover to cover and self-publish it and be successful and get 5-star reviews? And when people read it, they're so excited they'll leave reviews, because getting a review is a very hard thing. All right. So turn your dreams into reality with Great Gale Academy. So this is what we're talking about, Kings and Queens. This is what we're talking about. It's literally here. We created this platform because we want to see you win, not just talking about it, but actually being about it. So if you hit the Enroll Today button, you'll be able to see we got the Self-Publishing Goldmine, and it's an investment. It's an investment because it's literally a program to help you create your story worth its weight in gold. We got the welcome. It's a 13-week group coaching program, and there's bonuses as well. And what are those bonuses? You have a discussion with a trademark lawyer who is literally showing you how trademarks are one of the most important aspects of creating your manga, creating your intellectual property, even for your business, as well as how to avoid the nightmare, how to avoid something so devastating as $50,000, no, $70,000, over $70,000 in years of pain. So if you want to step into greatness, if you want to win on purpose, if you want to learn how to become a successful self-published author without the nightmares, without the I'm struggling and I can't figure this thing out. How do I actually get this? How do I actually get this thing done? We created this program for you. We created it to help you win. So you can click the link. You can go there. If you just go to literally bold.greatgale.com, you'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to check out our programs, check out our group coaching program, invest in yourself. Because remember what I mentioned before, and it's a fact. When you pour your money, all your money into your mind will pour infinite amounts of money back into your wallet. So again, go to bold.greatgale.com. You'll be able to go, you'll be able to enroll. We have our group coaching program, and we've got some more amazing things on the way. So I'm telling you, Kings and Queens, I'm telling you, now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time to get into this, okay? And even more, there's another one that I don't tell everyone this, but I'll let you know. Since you're here today, Afrofuturism is the way to go. It is. It just is. Disney literally made Iwaju, which is an Afrofuturistic animated series coming on February 28th about a futuristic Lagos, Nigeria. There's literally what Super 4 on Netflix. My daddy's a bounty hunter or bounty. Yeah, my daddy's a bounty hunter. That's one on Netflix. There's a lot of black centric, African, alkebulan centric content that's coming out going forward, and a lot of people want to see this. There's a reason why Black Panther 1 was worth $1 billion. People want to see that. People want to feel like we are home, not just we are another, statistic or some other nonsense. And this is why I really created these programs as well, self-publishing goldmine, your epic manga advantage, how to beat AI art, because it's all about Afrofuturism, about celebrating Black excellence instead of highlighting Black pain. Again, about celebrating Black excellence instead of highlighting Black pain, because that's what you generally see. And you may not even be African, but maybe your culture, maybe your ethnicity is always seen as negative. Maybe it's always seen as mocked or ridiculed. Maybe people just don't like it. You have to use your God-given talent, your God-given purpose to step into greatness so you can change that narrative. So the group esteem changes, so the perspective changes, so you can be all that God has made you to be. This is how you do it, kings and queens. I'm telling you, when you create books, it changes the game. If you truly want to have authority and dominion in your space, in your sphere, create a book, because authority follows author. In fact, writing a book is so important. Even God did it. Can't get better than that. Can't get better than that. So again, this is it, kings and queens. This is it. I'm telling you. You're so close to your bestseller. You're just one step away. One step away from getting your books into schools. One step away from getting those millions of sales through your books, tens of millions of sales, even hundreds of millions of sales. Remember, video games, manga, anime, coloring books, all these things come back to books. It all comes back to books. All right. If you truly want to get that media franchise, one of the fastest ways to do it is through books. Again, animation is $80,000 plus. For those anime, making a video game is very expensive. You may or may not be successful with it. That's one of the reasons why people model don't steal, because you don't want to take a big risk, reinvent the wheel. Even Jesus talked about that. You don't want to go up there, the ladder, and keep building a house, and then everything gets stuck midway because you don't have enough funds to, finish your project, and then people mock and laugh at you. You want to be prepared. Remember, we talked about Takuda Mizobe, the CEO of Pocket Pair, and how he's prepared. Be prepared, kings and queens. Be prepared. This is why when people read Bold Saga, it's a 5-star story. Multiple 5-star reviews. People love it. Their kids love it. It's so amazing. It's so incredible. It's so educational. All right. It's even when people read 7 Steps to Creating a Dream manga series, which is our proven framework of how to create a successful book that's going to take care of you, your family, and beyond. People love it. When they read it, they love it. So there's a system involved in how you structure these things. We go through it in depth in Self-Publishing Goldmine, because we want to help you unleash the champion within, unleash that giant slayer within you that can create amazing content, that's empowering people, that's changing the narrative, reorienting people to God. So again, turn your dreams into reality with Great Gale Academy. Enroll today. Visit bold.greatgale.com. And more amazing events are on the horizon. Stay tuned and stay up to date with all things Bold Saga and Great Gale and 7 Steps to Creating Your Dream manga series when you follow us at Great Gale Co. on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, YouTube, Fanbase, and Weekend Folk. And we're on Twitter too. All right. And thank you for listening. Remember, which do you think is better? Pokemon versus Palworld. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Which do you think is the best one? Did they really rip them off? Or are they, just doing their own thing? Let us know in the comments below. This is your time. This is your season. It's time to elevate. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Elevate with E. We truly appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And if you loved this video, we know you'll love the one coming up next. Just click the link and enjoy.